So we got inspiration at its finest right here, folks. That's my next level of work. That's my next level of work. But for now, we're gonna talk about the 2017 Freightliner. Y'all ready? Let go. Pros and cons to the Freightliner 2017.
Beautiful morning, you're the sun of my morning, babe. Nothing in the morning. Beautiful morning, you're the sun of my morning, babe. Nothing in the morning. I just wanna feel liberated, I just wanna feel liberated, If I ever instigated, I'm sorry.
One Truck Concepts with your main man, LoShawn Parts. You guys could have been anywhere else in the world, but you're here with me. Glad that you're here with me today. A lot of people have been wanting me to give a review on the 2017 automatic Freightliner, which I'm going to do that with you guys today. I'm going to go down and break down the pros, I'm going to break down the cons. What the difference that I'm seeing in this truck opposed to the Peterbilt that I was in, which I was in the 2016. So without further ado, let's break it down a little bit. What I'm going to show you guys first is a couple of the knobs on this 2017 Freightliner, and then we'll break it down. I'll let you guys know in the 2 weeks that I've been driving it what I've come up with and what my analysis is on, or my statistics, my numbers. All right, let's take a look at some of the knobs.
A new important message has arrived.
So here's a look at the Freightliner steering wheel right here in the front. Also taking a look at the gauges, let you guys get a little closer. I got the chrome package done on my truck here, so the gauges came chrome already. All right, so everything still looks pretty much standard from the old Freightliners to this Freightliner. Nothing different. All right, so here's the gear shifter for the automatic. As you guys can see, it has a knob here, and this knob goes up for drive. Right here is neutral, right here is reverse. Okay, you have the shifter, this little piece right here, I hope you guys can see it well, that you can push in for different performances, but here at Prime they deactivated this, so they only run it on the econ method, so you can't really change from performance to manual type thing. You can manually shift. How you go about manually shifting, you just see how I just did push up right here, excuse me, push up. I think that shifts up. If you push it down, that shifts the truck down automatically for you. Well, not automatically for you, yeah, because you don't have a clutch in here. All right, so that's how you manually shift up, manually shift down. All right, now as far as the Jake brake goes on this, the Jake brake is almost like how you would look at it as a turn signal. See how it clicks down, clicks up. You have 3 different grades or 3 different levels of Jake. You got Jake 1, Jake 2, Jake 3. Okay, and Jake 3, I must tell you guys and warn you guys right now that Jake 3 will throw you out the windshield if you don't have on no seatbelt or anything. That thing is really, really strong. So it'll throw you out the window. Normally, whenever I'm just got my foot on the pedal, I don't have it on cruise control, I normally use Jake 2 at the most. I've tried Jake 3 and I just seen the RPMs go flying out the window, so I just keep it at Jake 2 whenever I'm operating the truck by foot pedal. Also, another thing on these gauges is on the RPM. Whenever you're going down a mountain, these RPMs get really, really high. Okay, I know coming from a manual, from a stick, you really don't want to have your RPMs higher than like 16, 17 or 18 or somewhere in that area, and then you start getting any higher than that, you start thinking that you're going to throw a rod out the motor. But in these automatics, they built them somehow, some way, for the RPMs can be at about 24 and it won't damage anything, and that's pretty standard. I found that out from a buddy of mine, or a couple people in the YTTA Network and YTTA affiliates who have automatics already. They told me about that, so I want to shout them out. There's a couple individuals, I can't remember everybody's name off the top of the head, so I'm not going to name no people, but to those that gave me that information, they know who I'm talking about. I appreciate that. But these can rev up to 24, between 22 and 24 RPM coming down a mountain, and you'll be perfectly fine. Nothing for you to panic about. The next thing that I found out on this is that going down a mountain, the best thing to do is to have this thing in cruise control and set your cruise control at the speed that you want the truck to go down the mountain in, which I'll get into that here momentarily. Knobs right here, like I said, of course, I got the knuckles, the brass knuckles on there, which, you know, this is the tractor right here, and this is the trailer one. CD player is still standard, nothing exciting about it. I think it's yeah, pretty standard in all the Freightliners pretty much. Then of course down here you got your regen, you got your buzzer noise. Basically what this buzzer noise is let me see if I can move it over so y'all can see. It's the buzzer on the speaker. Okay, so now whenever a message comes in, the message will come over the speaker, over the entire speaker, instead of just over through the Qualcomm. I choose not to use that. Then you have override right here. Then you have ATC, which is basically your traction control for whenever you're in the rain, snow, stuff like that. You want to turn that traction control on. Actually, you want to hold it, and it'll show up on your dash that you got the ATC on, which, like I said, that gives you better traction control when you're in inclement weather. Then you have your menu button, which basically it just scrolls through on your screen. Once again, up here, it'll scroll through on your screen right here on whatever settings you're trying to do for your truck. All right, what next we got? We got the lane alert, which basically this is with Prime. They got the little lane alert that buzz, and I forgot the name of that system, but it's the camera that sits in the front to make sure that you're not crossing over in the lanes. That's what that does. And then you got your heated mirrors, of course, and then you got another override here. And you got your air conditioners, air condition vents, everything's still the same, standard, pretty much standard stuff. You know, you got your air suspension lower, you got your fifth wheel lock, then you got your spin out control where it gives you more control, where it drops the truck down to where if you get stuck in a muddy spot, instead of spinning out, you want to turn that on. Right here is a tire pressure monitor system that Prime puts in. It tells you the pressure, the air pressure in your tires on your tractor only. Now it doesn't tell you about your trailer, but it tells you about your tractor. Next right here is the on guard. Basically what this does is let you know how close you're getting to a vehicle. Okay, if you have cruise control on, it will adapt itself to the speed that vehicle is in front of you and keep your distance, following distance from that vehicle. It also tells you the speed that the vehicle is going in front of you. So that's pretty cool. I like that. Didn't have that in the Peterbilt. Had it in my last Freightliner, so pretty excited about having that back because now I can see what the speed is that a person is doing in front of me. Then you got your dome light. You got your utility lamp. It's my operational button for my lights in the back of my headache rack. But yeah, man, everything's pretty much standard. Qualcomm there. You know, Dylan there. Yeah, Dylan's always chilling. Yeah. And you know, my CB radio up here, and the CB radio I'm using in this truck is a Connex. Nothing spectacular. I don't even really use my CB radio unless I'm at a shipper or receiver and they need the CB radio, or if accident or traffic, I'll turn it on. Other than that, I just leave my CB radio off because it's just a whole bunch of BS on CB radios nowadays. That's my dash camera right there. All of this stuff I will be doing individual reviews on, as far as the dash camera, as far as the Qualcomm system, as far as CB radios. I'll be doing a bunch of pro and con videos and reviews to all of this stuff. So those are coming up. Now on your steering wheel, you do have your cruise control here, which is on and off. You have your acceleration where you can accelerate, and then you have your decelerate, and then you have your cancel where you can handle all your cruise control from right here. On this side, you got your marker lights where you can, you know, blink at nighttime. You can hit that, blink it 3 times or whatever, let the individual know if they flashed you to get on over, let them know thank you. You know, that's just common truck courtesy. And then these plus and minus buttons. Have you used these, Dylan?
They're for scrolling through the menu.
Scrolling through the menu? Okay, there you go. I haven't used these at all. Just hasn't interested me to use them, so there you go. If anybody wants to know what that little pad is up here, that's basically the Prime security pad for the truck. You gotta know the code to put in to keep the truck from blowing the horn, bonking the horn, sounding crazy as you driving down the road, and then people look like you look like you stole the truck. So, but yeah, man, that's pretty much it. So let's take it back to FaceTime. Let's get ready to wrap this thing up. I'll let you guys know how I like the 2017 automatic opposed to the manual. All right, so we back. This is my take on the automatic. A lot of people have been asking me, do you like the automatic better than the manual? And I gotta say that I do. I do. I've been really enjoying this in the 2 weeks that I've been driving it. From what I see, it's a lot more comfortable. From what I also see, as far as training the students, I seem to get better rest. I don't know why, I seem to get better rest. I think that I get better rest because I'm not worried about if the student is stalling out on a mountain. I'm not worried about if the student is stalling out, not being able to get through the gears, having shifting problems. It's pretty simple. It's 2 pedals, it's a gas, and it's a brake. You know what I mean? The only thing that the student has to work on, or that you need to be concerned with, is making sure that they're making their turns properly, going around and going down mountains properly. Other than that, if they're on flat surface, man, flat land, this is a charm. This is what you want. I drove a manual for 4 years. Granted, I'm not one of those ones that's been in the industry for 10, 20, 30 years driving a manual. So from the 4 years that I drove a manual to this automatic, man, this is a pleasure. You know what I mean? It's that you don't have to deal with stop and go in traffic. You don't have to worry about upshifting, downshifting, and wearing your knee out, you know what I mean, so to speak. You don't have to worry about in clutching, out clutching, and then 10 years, 20 years from now, you got arthritis in your knee because you was in city traffic and you was clutching. So it's enjoyable to have that, especially when you're in city traffic. Another thing that I like about this is the ability to set the cruise control going down a mountain. You're able to set the cruise control at, say, if it's calling for 45 miles per hour for trucks to go down this grade, you can set it at 45 miles per hour, and the Jake is going to kick on, and it's going to keep you no faster than about 5 miles per hour over that speed. So if you set it at 45, you probably won't go no faster than 50, and the Jake is going to just hold you there. So that is really, really cool because it helps from smoking the brakes. Okay, it helps from you losing control. You have more control. You don't really have to worry about so much of your speed. You just have to worry about keeping control of the truck. So I think that is a big pro that Freightliner did with these automatics. A con that I don't like when you have it on cruise control and then you get up to the top of a hill, when it's pulling up to the top of a hill and it goes into, well, I think this might only be in the econ mode, but I don't like when it goes into coasting. It just, to me, I don't like that. Because if you get to the top of the hill and you go into coasting, now I'm going down the mountain and I'm not in a gear. I mean, so it's like it just goes to eco. So I'm not in a gear, and then I start going down the mountain, and then it'll catch the gear eventually, but that still doesn't sit good with me. You know what I mean? Because I gotta wait till you catch the gear before you want to go down the mountain. So I don't really like the e-coast thing. It just feels awkward. Because you get to the top, because it's pulling going up the top, and then it's just like the power just, and then you're just coasting. I mean, which is what it's doing. It's saving fuel. You're coasting, but it's just, it dies down. You know what I mean? I don't like that feature. So Freightliner, if you guys could do something about the e-coast, I don't know. Find some better way to trigger it. I don't like it. Okay, that's my personal opinion. Dylan, you like the e-coast, or does it really bother you?
I don't really like that it lets you get so far down below your set speed on the, if you have your cruise control set, it'll let you coast down to like 5 under before it'll kick back in.
Right, and that's kind of scary. Just the thought of that, you know what I mean, is kind of scary. So I don't like that about the automatic. That is one con that I don't like about it. Other than that, let me see if I could try to pick out any other cons. Other than that, it's really hard to find another con in this. I know that the get up power in it, I like it. When I'm at a stoplight or I'm at a stop sign or whatever and I need to get to going, I just press down the pedal and it shifts through the gear smoothly. I have no issues. I don't have to worry about missing a gear, grinding a gear, or for that matter of fact, for me teaching the students, I don't have to worry about them missing a gear, grinding a gear. So it's really cool in that. Okay, another con, I just thought of another one. Going through toll booths, this thing can be a little tricky, okay? Because you need to slow down to about between 5 and 15 miles per hour going through the toll booth. And as it's slowing down, you may have your Jake on, okay? So you're decelerating in speed. But when you take that off and you try to catch it, it's like, you get a whole lot of shaking going on, okay? It's a whole lot of shaking for it, trying to catch itself back into what gear it needs to get into to continue pulling the load. So, I don't know, Freightliner, if you guys can work on that. I don't know. Pulling through a toll booth when you come to a slow stop for it to, I guess, pick itself back up where it's at or whatever. But it just seems like whenever you go through a tow booth, it kind of loses itself. It then went crazy. It don't know what gear it's supposed to be in, and start shaking. You get a whole bunch of the rocking left and the rocking right. But anyway, that's my review on the 2017 Freightliner Cascadia Evolution. To me, it's an enjoyable vehicle. It makes trucking a lot more easier. You don't have to really worry about a whole bunch of grinding of the gears because it's going to shift for you. You know what I mean? You don't need to know what gear you're supposed to be in. It's going to put you in the gear that you're supposed to be in, okay? I think that they still need to work on that a little bit more in the upcoming models and stuff, as far as getting the transmission to catch the right gear. Sometimes it'll catch the wrong gear, but everything's a working process. And I must say that I see a bright future for the automatics. You won't really have a lot of respect for it until you drive one. Okay, the whole thing is that a lot of people like to talk about, oh, I ain't getting no automatic. Oh, that ain't real trucking. You don't really understand the pleasure or respect that you have for one until you get one. So what I'm going to say is don't knock it till you try it. You know what I mean? If you haven't ever drove one, how can you give an opinion on something that you never drove? You're being biased, right? So it's kind of like you're saying, nah, it sucks. But then somebody asks you, have you drove one? No, I just don't. I can't see myself driving an automatic. Well, you're being biased. You know what I mean? You haven't even driven one, and you're saying you wouldn't do it. You know, so try one before you say you wouldn't buy one. Because at one point in time, I used to feel that way. Like, if you don't have a stick, you're not trucking. That's not real trucking. Trucking is trucking. Regardless how it goes, we still got a trailer. We still got product on the back. Regardless if I got a stick shift or I got an automatic. End of the day, I'm still getting paid the same, so it doesn't matter. Actually, I'll be making a little bit more because these do get better fuel mileage than a manual. On a manual, you don't really know. Well, you do know, but you may miss the points of where you need to shift to save yourself on fuel as far as RPMs. This right here, this has a chip, okay, that's going to shift automatically. You know what I mean? It's going to shift. It's going to know, well, it's supposed to know the key points in the spots on RPM where it's supposed to be shifting. Okay, going down. Oh yeah, one more pro. Excuse me, one more pro. In manual, okay, I like to use this thing in manual going down the mountain too. I've tried the cruise, but if you need to use manual, good thing in manual I like about this, man. You put on the Jake level 2, and you're going down the mountain. When you press on the brake and hold it for maybe about 2 seconds, and it downshifts itself automatically, and then you let go of it, it's gonna hold it in that 11th gear. So say like this thing is going down the mountain, I'm in 12th gear, I'm like, oh damn, I need to slow down. Okay, I need to slow down a little bit. I press on the brake a little bit gradually, let it downshift itself to 11th, and it's gonna hold itself there. So pretty much whatever you hold the brake until it downshifts itself to, or if you manually want to downshift it, it's gonna hold it in that gear, and the Jake is gonna work. I think that's so cool, because a lot of times in manuals, if you don't have the right RPM, or you don't press the gas down in the right amount of time going down the mountain, and you don't get in the gear, you're locked out of a gear, and now you're coasting down the mountain. That's never good. Okay, in this, you can tap the brake for about 3 seconds, and it's going to downshift itself down to the next gear, and it's going to hold in that gear. I think that's pretty dope. I like that about it. It's a safe feature, and I commend Freightliner for doing that on this one. This is a DT12, and it's a DD15 motor in here. So that's pretty much all I got for you guys today on this review of the Freightliner 2017. If you guys like the information, make sure that you thumbs it up. Make sure that you like, you subscribe, tell a friend about this video, and I do appreciate it. If you guys got any questions, leave it in the comment box. I try to answer them as much as I can. I get a lot of comments, so some comments do go unanswered, but for the most part, whenever I drop the video, normally like an hour after I drop the video, I answer questions. Pretty much anytime after that, I'm just busy, or I'm doing other videos, getting ready for other videos on training. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you guys was able to learn. I hope this brings light to you guys about the automatics over sticks. And by the way, a lot of people want to know when I'm getting miles per gallon. I'm sitting right now probably at about an 8.5 all the way around. Heavy load to light load all the way around. Right now I'm getting about 8.5. So that's better than what I was getting on the Peterbilt. Peterbilt I was getting a 7.5. So I'm saving myself an extra mile per gallon. Or extra, what is that? Am I saying that right? 8.5, 7.5, 8.5 miles to the gallon. So there you go. I'm saving an extra mile to the gallon average. So that's pretty decent. It's savings in my pocket, and I'm all about putting extra money in my pocket. So there you have it. Automatics are not bad. So anybody says automatics are bad, you gotta try one. It's not all bad. You'll get used to it. I did. So without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video. I appreciate you guys watching. Make sure, like I said, you like, subscribe, share, and come check us out on Facebook at YTTA Network. We do live feeds there Monday through Friday. Myself, Trucker Brown, Saray, Woody, Trucker named Jay, Shadow Wolf, and we have guest appearances every Wednesday. We have a guest appearance. We're booked up all the way out until September. We got some names such as Tex Crawley coming up soon, Trucker Steve coming up soon. We got D Silva with the hashtag Trucking Divas Rock, which is on my truck. I support them as well on that. Jada Trucker coming up, Abe Atella, Prime Driver Jacob as well. So he's coming to do a live feed. Every Wednesday we have our special guests. They come on at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right there on YTTA Network on the Facebook group. So make sure that y'all come in there and check it out. And I'm on there Monday through Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Monday through Friday. So come check it out, and also come join YTTA Affiliates, where it's the community page for YTTA. You guys can post things in there, post your truck, post your comments, post anything you want to in there, as long as it's not disrespectful, okay? Because if it's disrespectful, racial, if it's disrespectful, racial, or you're bashing another company, then we're just gonna block you and kick you out. So we just want to keep it where it's, you can talk about it, anything you want to, just don't be racial, bashing, sexual content as well. Don't bring that in there either. We don't want that. So there it is. You guys got all the links. You guys know where to find me at. It's your boy LoShawn Parks. I'll catch you guys later. And y'all know my saying, don't do nothing I wouldn't do, like drive illegal. So hope you guys enjoyed, man. I'm out of here. Gotta go. Peace out.
You do what you want when you pop it.